This is one exercise that I regret doing and I wish I would have started a long time ago, but better late than never. So let's get started. I'm gonna show you guys some variations of the stretch, where you wanna start and where you can progress to or where you can regress to. So essentially this is a couch stretch. It's gonna help open up the hip flexor. It's gonna provide some relief for your back and your body. If you sit a lot, drive a lot, this will be your go-to stretch. Again, I wish I would have started this a long time ago and did it every single day. All right, so I'm gonna first demonstrate against the wall. This is ideally where you want to get to eventually. If you're not there yet, that's okay. We'll show some variations. Ab mat is used for the cushion for the knee. I'm gonna put my knee as close as I can on that ab mat. And then I ideally want to get my shin touching or close to the wall. If not, I'll show you guys modifications. When I get set up here, I want my foot in line versus my heel or ankle driving out like so. So think of a straight line between your knee, ankle, and toe. From there, I'm gonna bring my opposite leg off to the side into a nice big stretch. So this is the couch stretch. If you're looking at me like there's no way I can get to this position, that's okay. I'm gonna show some regressions. There's been points where I've been able to sit here for 5 minutes, and there's been points where I haven't only been able to hold 30 seconds. So it is okay. You will progress, you will get better, but it takes time. Now, if you're in this position and you're like, ugh, this is really too hard, I can't hold this, I'll show you guys some regressions right here. First off, I can bring my front leg back to underneath my kind of groin area, hip flexor or hip hamstring, kind of hamstring meets the butt right here, and then I can just lean forward. I can use my opposite hand or hands both here to settle in. Notice that I kind of push off to the side. Ideally, we want to keep that hip in line with that ankle and knee. If you feel that ankle roll out, again, pull it back in. So this is one regression. If this is too tight for your hip, then I can bring my shin down to the floor, tuck the toes so the top of my foot's hitting the floor, and then again, I can hold this position. If you're here and you're like, this isn't too bad, I can hang out here for a bit, you can set a timer, start off with 60 seconds, maybe 30 seconds, maybe a minute and a half. Also, while you're here, you can squeeze your butt cheek. As you squeeze the butt cheek, you might feel an intense stretch on the front side of the body. Then you're gonna release. If you guys are following along, awesome. If you're seeing this later, please share with others. Hopefully this will save their life in terms of feeling some relief in their body and getting this exercise to be done daily. Now, if you're here and you're like, man, this is still too intense, or I feel it, but not enough, I wanna bring my leg back up, but my leg is too close to the wall, this is another way to regress. I can bring my knee and I can be a little bit of at a 45-degree angle. This again will relieve a little bit of the stretch here. Then I can stay here, elevate to here, and then eventually here. Now, depending on where you're at, find a place, hold for 20, 30, 60 seconds, then come out of it, switch legs. I can also push my hips forward here, squeeze my butt for 3, 2, 1, release. I can also reach my arms up to the sky and look up. This will intensify the stretch. So if you want a deeper stretch, incorporate this. I can also push my butt back towards my heel. The problem when I do that though is sometimes I've noticed as a coach, people's pelvis will start to tuck under and I'll start to push my butt back, or they'll start to push their butt back and their hips tilt. We want to think of our hips like a bucket, excuse me. We want to tuck that bucket under and then push away. So nothing wrong with bringing the hips to the heel, but just make sure you're not egregiously extending or pushing those hips forward. So tuck and then press. Eventually to the point where you can hold this for 5 minutes. Now, if this is really too much, here are some other ways to regress, and I would recommend starting here. If you saw my other video I shared recently about exercises that will help relieve back pain, check that out. I do an elevated pigeon there, and I do an elevated couch, which is a great exercise, but for now we're gonna demonstrate on the bench. I'm gonna take my ab mat, I'm gonna switch legs now so you guys can see my opposite leg. Going into this right side, place my knee on the ab mat, and then I'm actually gonna have my foot ankle at the edge of this bench here. Now, this is gonna alleviate the stretch a little bit because my foot isn't completely extended. I have a little bit of bend or flex in the ankle, depending on the length of your legs. I want to get my knee as close as I can to the bench. This will be a little bit of relief. There is a little bit of angle here, but holding this position, I can stretch into it, hold that stretch, squeeze the butt cheek, and then release. So if you sit a lot, like I said, if you drive a lot, and you're in this position where your legs or the angle between your leg and your torso is like this, we want to get into this position. This is an exercise I wish I would have done a long time ago to help relieve back pain, but also help open my hips and feel more flexible. Same thing here as well. Now, if that is too much as well, like I said before, you can get a couch, or literally a couch, or an elevated box where you're standing. That will give you some alleviation of that pain. This is a great stretch. I would call this stretch as like the daily routine. So try to get into the routine of doing it every single day. 20, 30, 60 seconds to start. Do that on each leg. If that feels okay and you want to progress, eventually get to the wall. If you guys have any questions or comments or other stretches for the hips, for the back, things that I wish I would have incorporated to feel better overall, please leave a comment below. Please share this with others. I'm hoping to reach other people with these educational videos and tutorials and hopefully inspire them to feel better, get back to the gym, and create a healthy routine for their lifestyle. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you next time.